Wellness for Life is brought to you by Back in Motion Physical Therapy, Gothenburg Chiropractic Clinic, Mahabi Atwa Community Action Partnership, Natural Alternatives, and Lakeside Sports and Pain Clinic.
Hi, my name is Ernest Hutta, owner and director of Natural Alternatives in Monaga, Minnesota. We have multiple clinics around the state and also one in Fargo-Moorhead area. But Natural Alternatives is the collaboration of multiple practitioners working together. Dr. Mark Wheaton, who's a sports MD, 2 chiropractors on staff here. We're also in the very near future bringing a 3rd one in staff. So we're very, very happy. Dr. Gottenborg from Pelican Rapids and Dr. Dave Anders from Walker, Minnesota also collaborate and work together with us here. So today, in light of what we're dealing with in our culture and our time, I want to talk a little bit about the lymphatic system. I've done a video on this prior where I talked about treating specific things, but I want to address the lymphatic structure relative to what we are sometimes being called as new novel viruses and sicknesses that are occurring in our culture and our society and our time. And there's nothing novel about sickness and virus and illness in humanity. It's happened for thousands of years, and it will continue to happen. We cannot somehow live our lives in a bubble thinking that we can stop or prevent the body or humans from contracting viruses or spreading them. And so the reality, it comes down to how can we best support our own bodies to be able to be resistant to helping fight these bacteria, virus, and fungus that are all over. They are in the earth, they're in the soil, we transmit them and we carry them and we share them. And they're part of our immune resources, a very, very important part of helping us in our immunity. So we don't want to get to a point where we live our lives in a bubble, thinking that a mask or living in isolation is going to somehow prevent us from getting sick. It's not possible. So the reality is we need to look at how can we support our immune resources and our body. And the lymphatic system, which I'm going to just give a real brief cursory discussion on today, is, in my opinion, probably one of the most important assets that we have to helping us personally. Putting aside diet, proper nutrition, good sleep, proper hydration, all these things that I've talked about. And if things get to a point from a standpoint of illness and sickness that we need medical attention, we have great resources, tons of facilities, hospitals, clinics, places that we can go to get help. But the reality is, how do we help ourselves in our own lives before we get there? To prevent the possibility that when we get to illness or sickness that requires medical attention, how can we help ourselves prevent getting to that point? And so to me, the lymphatic structure is really key. And so what I did is I went on the internet and I just printed off some very, very easy stuff that anybody can find. And I wanted to describe and show, and these pictures are hand-drawn or taking place here, that they're a little bit explicit, but they're still very, very effective. And what I wanted to do is just show how this lymphatic structure is tied in the human body. And on men, slightly different, same exact system, but slightly different. There's a lot more lymphatic structure in women than there's men. We don't know the exact number, but we say somewhere around 30% larger lymphatic structure in women than there's men. So if you look at the major cluster areas, you see that in the armpit and chest area, you get these major clusters where a lot of times if people get chest or breast or cancers in that area of the body, they'll remove lymph nodes from there. Same thing with the pelvic and the groin area. And this picture and neither of this one show another secondary system of lymphatics that is really, really, really small and subcutaneous under the surface of the skin that feeds into these larger ventricles and drainage structure. And so the lymphatic system in the human body is made up of approximately 90% water, but it's a very, very integral part of our immune system because this is how we get rid of toxicity. There's constant cellular waste that is occurring every single day, every single moment of our lives. And our lymphatic system is responsible for getting rid of this. And it's made up of water. So of course, hydration is a big part of that. But the more unfortunate part is that people don't realize how integral this lymphatic structure is and what makes it move. So we have 2 different systems here. One is called primary, the other one is called collateral. And these 2 lymphatic systems that collaborate and work together are pumped by muscle contraction. So obviously we can see that why these viruses and illnesses and sicknesses that we are seeing in society and the culture of our time have such a negative impact on the elderly, because they're wheelchair bound, they're in hospital beds, they don't have the ability to exercise and move, which is the absolute most important thing we can do for lymphatics, because the lymphatic system is moved throughout the entire human body through muscle contraction. So walking, proper exercise, and movement every single day, arms, legs, chest, every part of your body in a movement state is extremely important to pumping this lymphatic structure, which, by the way, flows from the bottom up. It does not go down. It's spread throughout the entire body via your cardiovascular structure, but it pumps from the bottom going up towards your heart and ultimately excreted as waste. So keeping in mind how important the lymphatic structure is, knowing and realizing that it's compromised, made up, comprised of water, and that our body has to pump it throughout the entire system with muscle contraction. Keep moving, keep exercising, all these other proper things that we talked about, proper diet, nutrition, supplementation, all these things can help. But ultimately, we need to take charge of realizing that I can control this part of my health. So this is something that in the therapy alternative, using an electroacuoscope, a very powerful tool, and manual techniques, that we can help people get a healthy lymphatic structure and a healthy lymphatic system so that you can keep your health there. That's our key, is to help keep our body strong. So check us out on the web at naturalalternatives.com, and you can call us here in Monaga at 218-564-4200 and see what we can offer to help you support your immune system, keep your health, keep strong.
Thank you for watching Wellness for Life. Brought to you by Back in Motion Physical Therapy, Gothenburg Chiropractic Clinic, Mojave Ottawa Community Action Partnership, Natural Alternatives, and Lakeside Sports and Pain Clinic.